Alan Wolf Arkin is an American actor, director, musician and singer. He is known for starring in such films as Wait Until Dark, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming, The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, Catch-22, The In-Laws, Edward Scissorhands, Glengarry Glen Ross, 13 Conversations About One Thing, Little Miss Sunshine, and Argo. He was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor for his performances in The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming and The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, and the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his performances in Little Miss Sunshine and Argo, winning the award in 2007 for the former. He is the father of actors Adam Arkin, Anthony Arkin, and Matthew Arkin. Early life: Arkin was born in Brooklyn, New York City, the son of David I. Arkin, a painter and writer, and his wife, Beatrice, a teacher. He was raised in a Jewish family with no emphasis on religion. His grandparents were immigrants from Ukraine, Russia, and Germany. His parents moved to Los Angeles when Alan was 11, but an 8-month Hollywood strike cost his father his job as a set designer. During the 1950s Red Scare, Arkin's parents were accused of being communists, and his father was fired when he refused to answer questions about his political ideology. David Arkin challenged the dismissal, but he was only vindicated after his death. Career: early work. Arkin, who had been taking acting lessons since age 10, became a scholarship student at various drama academies, including one run by the Stanislavski student Benjamin Zemch, who taught Arkin a psychological approach to acting. Arkin attended Los Angeles City College from 1951 to 1953. He also attended Bennington College. With two friends, he formed the folk music group The Tarriers, in which Arkin sang and played guitar. The band members co-composed the group's 1956 hit The Banana Boat song, a reworking, with some new lyrics, of a traditional, Jamaican calypso folk song of the same name, combined with another titled Hill and Gully Rider. It reached number 4 on the Billboard magazine chart the same year as Harry Belafonte's better-known hit version. The group appeared in the 1957 calypso exploitation film Calypso Heatwave, singing Banana Boat Song, and Chew Cown. From 1958 to 1968, Arkin performed and recorded with the children's folk group, The Babysitters. He also performed the role of Dr. Pangloss in a concert staging of Leonard Bernstein's operetta Candide, alongside Madeline Kahn's Cunegund. Arkin was an early member of the Second City comedy troupe in the 1960s. Arkin and his second wife, Barbara Dana, appeared together on the 1970 Euro 71 season of Sesame Street as a comical couple named Larry and Phyllis who resolve their conflicts when they remember how to pronounce the word cooperate. In 1985, he sang 2 selections by Jones and Schmidt on Ben Bagley's album Contemporary Broadway Revisited. Acting. Arkin is one of only 6 actors to receive an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor for his first screen appearance. 2 years later, he was again nominated, for The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. In 1968, he appeared in the title role of Inspector Clouseau, after Peter Sellers disassociated himself from the role, but the film was not well received by Sellers fans. His best-known films include his Oscar-nominated Wait Until Dark, as the erudite killer stalking Audrey Hepburn. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. Catch-22. The 7% Solution. Little Murders. The In-Laws. Glengarry Glen Ross. And Little Miss Sunshine, for which he won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar. And Argo. His portrayal of Dr. Oatman, a scared and emotionally conflicted psychiatrist treating John Cusack's hitman character Martin Q. Blank in Grosse Pointe Blank, was also well received. His role in Little Miss Sunshine, as Grandfather Edwin, who was foul-mouthed and had a taste for heroin, won him the BAFTA Film Award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role and the Academy Award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. On receiving his Academy Award on February 25, 2007, Arkin said, "More than anything, I'm deeply moved by the open-hearted appreciation our small film has received, which in these fragmented times speaks so openly of the possibility of innocence, growth and connection." At 72 years old, Arkin was the 6th oldest winner of the Best Supporting Actor Oscar. In 2006 07, Arkin was cast in supporting roles in Rendition as a U.S. Senator and The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause as Bud Newman, starring with Tim Allen, Martin Short, Elizabeth Mitchell, Judge Reinhold and Wendy Crewson. On Broadway, Arkin starred in Enter Laughing, for which he won a Tony Award, and Louvre. He also directed The Sunshine Boys, among others. Directing, Arkin's directorial debut, in 1969, was a 12-minute children's film, People Soup, starring his sons Adam Arkin and Matthew Arkin. Based on a story of the same name he published in Galaxy Science Fiction in 1958, People Soup is a fantasy about two boys who experiment with various kitchen ingredients until they concoct a magical soup which transforms them into different animals and objects. Arkin's most acclaimed directorial effort is Little Murders, released in 1971. Written by cartoonist Jules Feiffer, Little Murders is a black comedy film starring Elliot Gould and Marcia Rode about a girl, Patsy, who brings home her boyfriend, Alfred, to meet her severely dysfunctional family amidst a series of random shootings, garbage strikes and electrical outages ravaging the neighborhood. The film opened to a lukewarm review by Roger Greenspan, and a more positive one by Vincent Canby in the New York Times. Roger Ebert's review in the Chicago Sun-Times was more enthusiastic, saying, "One of the reasons it works, and is indeed a definitive reflection of America's darker moods, is that it breaks audiences down into isolated individuals, vulnerable and uncertain." Arkin also directed Fire Sale, Samuel Beckett is Coming Soon and Argo. Writing, Arkin is the author of many books, including the children's stories Tony's Hard Work Day, The Lemming Condition, Halfway Through the Door, An Actor's Journey Toward Self and The Clearing. In March 2011, he released his memoir, An Improvised Life. Personal life, Arkin has been married 3 times. He and Jeremy Yaffe, to whom he was married from 1955 to 1961, have 2 sons, Adam Arkin, born August 19, 1956, and Matthew Arkin, born March 21, 1959. In 1967, Arkin had son Anthony Dana Arkin with actress-screenwriter Barbara Dana, to whom he was married from June 16, 1964 to the mid-1990s. In 1996, Arkin married a psychotherapist, Suzanne Newlander. They live in Carlsbad, California. Filmography, film, television movies miniseries, television appearances, references. External links, Alan Arkin et al. Movie, Alan Arkin at the Internet Broadway Database, Alan Arkin at the Internet Off-Broadway Database, Alan Arkin at the Internet Movie Database, Q&A with Arkin at Time.com, Fulker Ataria's article, Stephen Caton interview on Worldwide, Futurist Radio Hour October 10, 1995, videos, tribute to Alan Arkin on YouTube photo compilation, trailer, The Russians Are Coming on YouTube, trailer, The In-Laws on YouTube, trailer, Last of the Red Hot Lovers on YouTube, National Screen Institute interview, 1985 on YouTube, CBS interview. 2007 on YouTube,